Hey, what's up, guys? Jacob here, and I just want to make like a quick vlog, basically, because I've been mulling this around in my head, and it's just something that I want to get like out of my head and like on to something, because it kind of ties into a video I made a couple days ago about Sniper Wolf and why I don't ever want to do this for a job or have it be like my life. And even though it's like gaming and video games and content creation is a huge hobby of me and is a huge part of my life, I don't ever want it to be like my sole identity, and here's why, right? So, as I'm sure you're aware, a video that I just posted earlier today, I'm at Music City Multicon 2023. It used to be called Grand Ole Game Room Expo. It's held in Nashville. It's held in Franklin, Tennessee, for the longest time until 2020, and now it's in Lebanon, which is a suburb of Nashville, but that's not important. But I've been going since their second year in like 2017, and it's almost always a good time, and we almost always have a fun time, lots of really cool stuff. But tonight, like, for the first time that I've ever been going, I like ran into a situation. I want to call it an altercation, because it was one of those things where it's like, it was akin to somebody like cutting you off on the highway, and you just kind of go, what the fuck, man, and then like shrug your shoulders and move on, right? But what it was is, me and Josh were trying to play a couple pinball tables before Josh had to leave, because he's only here for the one day tonight. And the floor closed at 11, and this is like 10 o'clock, right? And I'm watching him play this pinball table, and this guy comes up with like the most, I can only describe it as like snooty, right? And like, you know, the tone of voice and the attitude, because I guess I was a little bit too close to the pinball table he was playing, and he's like, we're trying to do a pinball tournament here. If you could have some respect, back up a bit, please. And then the other guy that I guess is part of the turn, which actual, like, the actual tournaments that they held in that area ended at fucking 8 o'clock. So that's why we were hanging out in the area with the older pinball tables and stuff, right? And I look at this other guy, and he's just got this like look at him, like, you know that SpongeBob thing where he's like, "Who put you on the planet?" It was like that, right? And it made me start thinking, because like I wanted to say something, but I just like shook my head and shrugged it off, because it's like, whatever, man. You guys are too. You look like you're in your mid-40s, approaching your 50s, and you're getting snippy at people because they're too close to the pinball table you're playing. Whatever, man. You got bigger problems than you've got big enough problems that you don't need a quip from me. It's whatever. But it just made me like start thinking about, again, why I don't want to do this for like a career or make this my entire life and personality, because it's like that guy for me, and this story, the reason I'm telling it, was the embodiment of why I've always felt like you should be really, really careful if you intend to make a hobby or something that starts out as a hobby your life, right? Because pinball is probably one of the ultimate hobbies, right? I don't think anybody would look at pinball and not say that it is at least something that could be considered a hobby, right? And there's nothing wrong if you want to compete in pinball tournaments, any kind of tournaments, pinball tournaments, fighting game tournaments, poker tournaments, golf tournaments, doesn't matter. If something like started as a hobby like golf or poker or pinball or whatever, and you know, you're pretty good at it and you can enter tournaments and stuff, that's fine. And Smash Brothers players are a really good example, I think. No offense to anybody, but you need to be careful not to let it take over your entire life, and that just be. So a great example, at the risk of getting sued, look at Billy Mitchell, right? Like, look at Billy Mitchell. What probably started as a hobby, Pac-Man, the arcade game, he got really, really good at it, and it consumed his life to a point where he felt like he needed to cheat, and now he's the internet's like, or at least that era of the internet, like what's the fucking word I'm looking for? It's late. It's not, never mind. Like that circle that he's in, Pac-Man players, that sort of thing. Arcade game high score world record holder. It's like the ultimate punching bag, right? And it's like, don't let something that was supposed to be a hobby, that was supposed to be fun, right, consume you to a point that you're going to be a snippy dickhead because someone's maybe a little bit too close to this imaginary line that you've drawn. Because if I can give you a visual, imagine this leaf here, right, is is the pinball table that Josh is at. So Josh is like here, square behind the pinball table. I'm like over here, right? Like right here watching him. This line is the other pinball table, right? So I'm like here, and I'm like sort of close to over here because I'm watching him, and he's like, excuse me, could you move please? We're having a tournament. And I'm like, bro, no the fuck you're not. Damn, nobody here. You guys might be having a tournament amongst yourselves, but fuck you, basically. But it's like, I'm not as mad about it as I was, because after Josh got finished, I just went and played House of the Dead, and as far as I know, it's impossible for me to stay mad playing House of the Dead, because House of the Dead's my favorite fucking light gun game of all time. But it like I said, it just made me like start thinking about what has to happen to where you get to a point where your hobbies, right? And fair game to me, maybe they were having a legitimate tournament that I didn't know about. Maybe it was some after hours deal, but it didn't seem like it to me. But I guess I don't have the full scope of the story, fair game. But still, if I ever get to a point somehow where this dumbass hobby of mine, any of my dumbass hobbies, become so central to my life, consume me in such a way that I start acting like a dickhead to people about it, someone force me to stop. Someone take that hobby away from me, because I no longer deserve it in my mind. Yeah. So yeah, that was it. That was basically the whole thing. It was just like, it was one of those things where like, I'm there and I'm like, bro, all of us are here to just play fucking pinball and arcade games and maybe buy some cool stuff from the merch shop. Some of us are here for pinball tournaments, and that's really cool, but like, chill out, man. Chill out. We're playing fucking pinball. So, yeah, that was it. That was the long and the short of it. Is my personal advice to everybody, and my personal stance on things like this is, if you have a hobby, be careful, be vigilant, I guess, not to let it consume you to a point where it's all that you are, right? Like, I really love making goofy videos on the internet, playing video games, sharing those video games with people. Like, that is, video games and gaming and all of that is central to, I will say, one of the central pillars, I guess, to who I am as a person and to my life. Like, for fuck's sake. But it's not everything that I am, and I guess that's my point, is be careful not to let something that was supposed to be fun, that was supposed to be a hobby, that was supposed to be a way to have a good time and maybe hang out with some friends or what have you, something that was supposed to be a way to make fun memories, don't let that become everything that you are, because I feel like you're guaranteed to end up miserable. And I really think a fantastic example that ties into the theme of you know, where I'm at right now and everything I'm talking about is Billy Mitchell. God bless his soul. I have no personal beef with him, but I've met him a couple times, actually. He wasn't an asshole to me, but I can see where it's like, I can envision a world where he wasn't always the Billy Mitchell we know, right? And I feel like what ended up happening was the having the Pac-Man high score just became all that he was, and now here we are. So yeah, that's my cautionary tale. Don't let something that you're passionate about become the only thing that you are. Like, it's okay to be passionate about things, obviously. I would be a hypocrite if I told you it wasn't, but let there be more to you as a person than a singular thing, right? I guess that's my soapbox. Anyways, that's it. I got hopefully a neat video. Oh look, cat friend. Hello, cat friend. Would you like a French fry? I have some. Okay. I have hopefully a neat video coming out tomorrow. I'm gonna go back up in the hotel room and try and work on it before I go to bed. I ran into at the convention, there's some indie game devs developing a Quest horror game, and I played the demo for it, and I thought it was really cool. So I'm gonna try and put together. The gameplay footage I have isn't super good because it's literally like, it's not. It's like, it's Yeah, you'll see it. It's me and then Josh at the booth where you can see us and we're wearing the headset and everything, and then we're like filming the TV in front of us. But I'm still gonna upload it and drop credits to him because the game is really cool, and I want people to be able to download it and play it and check it out. So that should be coming tomorrow. Hopefully, I'm gonna try and work on that. If not, you'll see it Sunday, one or the other. But yeah, that was super cool. Okay, yeah, that's it. That's the end of this one. See you guys. Bye.